Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to me, your host, Christian Watson. So today, guys, I was looking across the internet, and I saw a story that actually disturbed me profoundly. Not necessarily because of the story itself, but because of how the story was being reacted to by various people in the political space in the United States. So you see this man right here. This is Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who is probably one of the most well-known politicians out there right now. He is a slick orator, very slick and brilliant orator, I might say. He's someone who I harbor quite a few disagreements with, but I also like some of the things he does. But that has no bearing on what I'm about to say, of course. Ted Cruz, amid his state roiling from a winter weather catastrophe, was caught traveling to Cancun. And of course, the moment I saw this headline come across my feed, I thought to myself, oh, this is just bad optics. But me being the pensive lad that I am, and that I want all of you to be, I decided, you know what, Christian Watson, you need to go and you need to look further. So I began reading more articles. This article came up. Now, it's from CNN.com, and again, I told you, I should not be looking at CNN.com. CNN has nothing of value for any of us. CNN at this point is just a propaganda machine that pushes out subjective beliefs. They have no interest in facts. They have no interest in objectivity. They have interest in the appearance of appearing objective. But it says the headline, Cruz travels to Cancun, Mexico, as Texans remain without power amid historic winter storm. So here's Brianna Keeler, being the good journalist that she is, attacking Ted Cruz.
Suffering, freezing. Despite his fellow Texans suffering, freezing, going hungry, some of them even dying, Senator Ted Cruz last night flew to Cancun, Mexico for a family vacation. There were pictures of him at the airport and on the plane that popped up on social media, and moments ago he confirmed that was him. He felt he needed to trade the prickly cactus of his recorded podcast for the inviting palm trees of the Yucatan Peninsula, apparently in the middle of a crisis, a disaster of historic...
Okay, so I'm not even going to watch her entire explanation, but Ted Cruz was actually quite clear as to why, as the article says, as to why he did this. Because his daughters wanted, since school is out, his daughters wanted to go down to Cancun with friends, and he wanted to chaperone them. What is wrong with this? And people are saying, no, Ted Cruz went there for a vacation. A vacation? If he went there for a vacation, then why the heck did he reschedule his travel plans to come back to America? Because of optics? No. The guy just won re-election not too long ago. He has nothing to lose. He's going to be in office for the next a few more years. So what do you mean optics? What do you mean by that? This is someone who's been attacked and accused of many things over the years. I don't think Cruz is the kind of person to bow down to quote-unquote optics unless there is an immediate political advantage for him, and in this moment, there really isn't. There really isn't. Because a majority of Texans still like the guy. We'll see if someone beats him next time. But here's the point in all this, my friends. He explained afterwards exactly why he did this. He explained, hey, school was canceled, and I wanted my daughters to have a chaperone down there so that they can go enjoy themselves, etc., etc. But the aesthetics of a United States senator jetting away from his state to the warm tropics of a different country while his state is still roiling from a natural disaster makes people think a few things. Inconsiderate, callous, cold, elitist. The aesthetics. But the main problem with our contemporary political discourse is that we look at aesthetics and not at substance. You see, aesthetics in philosophy is generally thought to mean to be the science of beauty, so to speak. The way we understand beauty, appearances, how things look. But I would go beyond that. Aesthetics is not simply the science of beauty or art. Aesthetics is also the science of how the human eye perceives those material sensations, how we perceive events, due to how they are formed. So there's a reason why a lot of people oppose quote-unquote assault weapons, which are not really assault weapons, they simply look menacing. It's an aesthetic distinction. So there's a reason why people think that Ted Cruz is a callous person for going down to Cancun without knowing a lick of what he was doing, because there's an aesthetic distinction. There's a presupposition built into their brains already that is making them think so many things. Guys, this is dangerous. We cannot let ourselves be slaves to the senses. The senses is where knowledge arises from and begins. It's not where knowledge ends. We have to use reason. Locke said Aristotle said this, Aquinas said this, then Locke said this. There is nothing yet in my mind which did not arise from the senses. Good. Now we have to go. There's a process of this, though. The essay on human understanding didn't stop at that sentiment. It kept going on. It put emphasis on reason. It put emphasis on revelation. It put emphasis on these things. Yet people are rushing judgment. And a lot of the media are rushing judgment on the basis of aesthetic distinctions. Why do you think American politics is so shallow? Why do you think how someone looks or what someone says or how someone presents themselves is the primary mode, the dominant mode of value in American politics and in politics in general? Why do you think that? Because we don't understand how to pensively investigate things. We don't understand how to actually look for things beyond our perceptions. The outrage against Ted Cruz, after understanding what he was doing, is simply a reflection of the masses' inability to reason beyond their perceptions. We aren't animals. We are not driven solely by sensations. We have to be driven by logic. We have to be driven by things that are not as we wish them to be. And we cannot be driven by a foul sense of reductionism, which completely and utterly reduces these politicians, whom may have very different opinions than you do, who may have very different dispositions than you do, down to their positions, and then looks into reality for every single circumstance to clobber them with. Stop it. You don't have to like Ted Cruz. But if you actually want to operate in politics honestly and earnestly, you must like the truth. And you must be willing to engage with the truth by divorcing yourself from aesthetics and looking more at substance. Think on it. As always, my friends, I love you, and please stay pensive. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this message, please be sure to support my channel through PayPal. My PayPal is @officialcwatson, as you see on the screen. Any amount helps. Thank you so much, and stay pensive.